The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Oh, why hello there, and welcome on in to another stream, to another Monday. It's gonna be a good one, man. This is going to be a very good, very nerdy week. A lot of cool stuff going on. We must discuss one of the craziest rumors slash leaks slash friggin' crazy ass thing that is happening with the Sentry and Avengers Doomsday. It's actually like really cool. I'm quite excited to get into it. And I'm gonna say so much. I thought about it and I was like, look, I could act like I don't know what the fuck this is, or I don't know what this is all leading to, or I could just do my damn thing, okay? On the one hand, I wish My Time to Shine Hello would shut up. Like, just shut up. Just go somewhere else. Far away. Far away. But I can't really control that, you know what I mean? So she's going to put stuff out there, it's going to come out, and I think we're just going to have to talk about it, you know? So, fuck. It is what it is. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get into that. We also have some really cool Spider-Man stuff, man. The Spider-Man stuff. I'm actually kind of excited about the Spider-Man stuff. I think the Spider-Man stuff's going to be real cool. Give me 1 second here. I think the Spider-Man stuff's going to be real cool. Sorry, I had a thing there. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it. It's not just the trailer, although the trailer's confirmed. And Borat, interestingly enough, actually confirmed it. Literally a guy from Kazakhstan, which is pretty wild. So a guy from Kazakhstan literally confirmed the trailer for Wednesday. And we'll get into that. We'll talk about that. But on top of that, Sony's doing this really interesting thing where there is a website dropping with apparently a ton of fun details and fun things to discover. So we'll talk about that too, because I think that's going to happen on Wednesday when they release the trailer. I kind of think they're going to give us a little digital Easter egg hunt, you know, to get into and get hyped about when it comes to Spider-Man. And I think that's kind of cool. Jesus Christ, dude. This fucking room, dude. This fucking room is going to be the death of me if I don't get this fucking insulation figured out. It's like literally freezing cold, then it's like hot. I can't handle this shit. Fucking ridiculous. Anyway, how you guys doing? Did you have a good weekend? What's up? Everybody have a good weekend? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling out there? Hot or cold day? I can't tell. I actually don't know. I literally do not know. That's because he won't introduce himself as Dr. Doom. He's going to introduce himself as Victor. I have no idea what you just said. I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. The fuck are you talking about? I don't care about Doomsday. Jesus Christ. Just keep that shit to yourself. I'm going to end this fucking stream. Keep that shit to yourself, dude. I'm not excited for Doomsday. Nobody fucking cares. Find the nearest exit and get your fucking ass out of my presence. Fuck out of here. Been a minute, Josh. What's up, Ibsy? Hope all is well. Imagine this time next year we are in the world where Doomsday becomes the highest grossing movie of all time and RDJ wins an Oscar for his role as Doom. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be really cool. Thanks, bud. Blizzard conditions in the Midwest. Okay, cool. Morning, Josh. Hope all is well. All is so well. All is well on the Western Front. I'm excited for Doomsday. There you go. You can stay. Don't make him crash out on the first 5 minutes. Yeah. Wait, what? New Warhammer animation? Is it for 11th edition? Fuck out of here, Adam. What's it for? What is this? Oh, shit. Returning to Armageddon. Is this really for 11th? What the fuck? What is this? Well, Adam, they gonna hate your ass. They gonna hate your ass. Say less, dog. Say less. Okay, let's see what's going on with this little Warhammer animation here. Look, I'll set this up for you guys. Okay, I'll set this up for you for a little bit. Warhammer is the best. If you don't like it, you're wrong. Deeply wrong. And it's awesome, and it's coming out soon, and it's the best, and there's 11th edition, and Henry Cavill, and let's check this out. What's this animation?
Are we ready?
We're ready.
People of Armageddon.
Soldiers of the Imperial Guard. For decades, we have defended this world.
Guardian fucked up.
Some of you were born here and know only war. Some of you have grown old upon these battlefields. Some of you were brought from off-world, shipped here to die.
Ooh.
I thank every one of you. But look at what's become of our world.
Graveyards that reach from horizon to horizon. Cities cloaked in ash and dust.
Damn. Looks cool.
Industry in ruin. The next wave of greenskins will soon reach our world.
Trench warfare.
In numbers the likes of which we've never seen.
Man, fuck these greenskins.
To die.
Suffer not the alien to live.
To hold the line.
We cannot.
There is no victory to be had bad ear.
It's not a good speech. It's not a good speech.
I ask you to die
In the mud of a world that was lost long ago.
Shit is so awesome.
Flee, all of you.
Flee. Make for the evacuation transport.
Get off world if you are able. Run for your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that don't sound good. Belay that order. Wait a minute.
There will be no evacuation.
Does he have the this? Oh shit!
No cowardice.
Oh shit! Is this the homie?
No defeat. This is
He'll have the
our
hand.
city. This is our world. Soldiers of Armageddon.
Oh shit! He's back. Oh. Oh damn. Yarick. The old man of Armageddon returns. Oh my god, holy shit. That's cool, man. Are they gonna... This is fucking crazy. So this is just for a model. I guess they did this with 500 Worlds too, where they had like a story, a cinematic... Holy shit, dude. Are they gonna start doing like fucking CG cinematics for like all of these big cool Warhammer things? That is awesome, dude. Holy shit. So this guy's like a really famous character that's been dead or gone for a long time. He has like the ability to use an orc arm. It's crazy. I think his name's Yarick. Yarak. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't play guard, but I know of this character, and I know he's fucking awesome, and a lot of people are very excited. That's cool. That's a really cool setup. That's a cool setup for that character there. What do you think, chat? Everybody all about Warhammer now? We've all decided Warhammer's the best, and we're ready to move on? I wonder if Disney will bring Killmonger back in the light of Michael B's Oscar win. Yeah, maybe. Hey, Josh, off work today due to severe weather in South Carolina. Sorry to hear about that. So glad I can finally catch live. Hope all is well on your end and love the video this weekend. Nerd Adventure Play. Oh, I'm glad you liked that video. Yeah, that's I thought that was a really good video we put out yesterday. It is about the Loki and Captain America scene. If you are... you've probably been hearing some of the rumors about it. Maybe you heard me talk about it on stream and all these different things. But yes, that is a very cool scene, really important. It's very controversial, right? That scene's really controversial. A lot of people are upset about it. So I made like a whole video dedicated to it, why it's so controversial, and how you could actually make it a really good scene. And I think they're going to do some of the things, if not all the things I put into that video. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. Louis the Jedi says 35 months. What an exciting moment to be a nerd. Love being part of this community. I finished One Piece. It is so good. Ah, man, that's awesome. I have not finished One Piece yet, but it's great. Very excited for Invincible this week. Oh yeah, lots of cool shit happening. This week. And then there's of course Spider-Man's. We got some Spider-Man stuff talking about. So, man. That was a really cool cinematic trailer. Holy shit. I'm still kind of stuck on that. Armageddon is likely to be a big part of what 11th is going to focus on. So I think that's just so cool, man. Really, really interesting. That's cool. My name is Jeff says, if Loki knew that there's no cap in 828, wouldn't he also know about a possible Doctor Doom in 828 as well? No, well, sort of. You're asking the right question. You're not asking the right detail. How did Loki know there was no cap in that timeline? And how could that even be a thing? And why was that timeline available at the same time as 616? Those are the questions. Do you think the Spider-Man trailer will be attached to Project Hail Mary? Yes, I do. Which, is apparently a pretty hype movie. People are pretty excited about that movie, so that's probably a good idea. There's a Daredevil Born Again podcast trailer. Okay. Are you guys excited about Daredevil Born Again? I gotta tell you, man. I'm not. Like, I don't know. Like, I hope it's good. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm not excited for it. Project Hail Mary is an awesome audiobook. Oh, I bet. I've heard it's a great book. And isn't it like a series, or is it just is it a one-shot book? I'm not. I don't really know. I like the Hot Ones thing they did. Yeah, I mean, I saw some of that, like where Charlie dunked the wing in the milk or whatever, and that's cool. You know, like it seems fine or whatever. It's just not speaking to me personally, but that's all good. You know, I'm trying to be more kind, which might surprise you. But, you know, even with like the Oscars and everything, I was watching members of the community, you know, be excited and interested in the Oscars. And like, I have like a deep dislike of all of that, and it's almost like the spiritual equivalent of accidentally putting your hand on a hot stove. Like, I literally like reel back from it, right? But I don't think it's good to then just like try to yuck your yum or try to like make my perspective your perspective or whatever. If you like the Oscars, if you're pumped about, you know, this person winning that accolade or whatever, that's cool too. It's all good. So I'm trying to be more chill, man. You know, like at the end of the day, I don't think it is right to, even with my own genuine experience, to try to shit on your cereal or whatever. I had a good time with the Oscars. That's great. That is awesome. Rhythm City RM says, did 616 Doctor Strange somehow know about 828 Fantastic Four charting in the 60s line in Multiverse of Madness? Jesus Christ. Can we save these fucking questions? I'm sorry, but can we save these questions for a little bit later in the stream? Like, I'm not going to answer that question, brother. Sorry. How can you dislike the actors being celebrated and then consume their work excitedly? That's a great question. I don't know the answer. I guess I just do it. Hope Spider-Man shows up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. If Spider-Man showed up, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And you don't do that when you look at the USD on Warhammer websites for figures. Yeah, I don't understand, John. John, I love you so much, but I'm going to block you right now, okay? And it's just because you're horrible. And you've been just like passive-aggressive for months, and I don't care to look at it anymore. So see you. It's a fragment of his memory from the Prime Universe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Lego Show TV is confirmed that Peter Parker won't make an appearance in it already, bro. Oh, damn, that's crazy. How are they going to handle that? That's wild. Yeah. No, it's cool. It's all good. It is all good. Seriously. Like, I didn't want to be a butthole about it, but it's also just one of those things where it's like, no, I know how I feel, you know? I'm thinking there are 2 Peters in Brand New Day. Okay. Interesting. Thinking there's 2 Peters. That's kind of crazy. Let me get something pulled up for you guys. We're going to get into some of this Sentry stuff. I think the first thing we'll do the Sentry stuff. Then we'll do Spider-Man. And then I actually want to talk about a really weird rumor about Doctor Doom, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of digging it. Kind of excited about what it all might mean. So hang on one second here, guys. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so this is great. We'll keep that up there. This is one of those things, man, where, you know, a person says a little thing about something, another person fills in some of the gap, you know, when it comes to this. And I can't help it. I see how it all fits together, and I'm like, damn, so that means this means that. This is all really crazy. This is all really cool. So, all right, let's get into this. Let me get this pulled up for you guys here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. All right, lads and lasses. So I guess slight spoiler warning. We are going to get into some Doomsday stuff. You probably saw it on the thumbnail or whatever. We're going to get into some stuff when it comes to the Sentry. Okay? When it comes to the Sentry. Okay, check this out. This is really cool. And I personally think there's a lot to this. You could basically just repeat the scoop and say what Shine said. You could look at what some other people said, which we will do. And you can also use your brain parts to connect it to other things that we've seen, like the concept art, you know, and some of the things that the actors have said. So we're about to go on a journey that is, I think it'd be pretty interesting when it comes to all of this stuff with the Sentry. So it all kind of started when, to me, I actually think it started a couple of weeks ago, when there were all these rumblings out there, people talking about how the Sentry is going to be doing something really, really epic. I think Charles Murphy even said, when he was asked in like his Q&A Twitter thing, he was like, yeah, there's something the Sentry does that's going to be absolutely awesome. And in fact, Charles said, and I think this is so interesting, Charles literally said, this thing is so cool that I see no reason as to why anybody would spoil it. I think he was speaking directly to Shine and some of those people when he said that. And Shine did leak it and spoiled it and ruined it, you know? Look, for people like me, I don't really mind because I'm engaged in the leaks and I will not have my experience affected one way or the other just because I know maybe what's going to happen in the movie. But there are some people out there that want to go in clean, and we even have members of our community that want to go in clean. And so it's just kind of like, it's a bittersweet pill. I really wish Shine would stop and go away forever. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So I guess we'll just kind of know some things about the movie, more or less, right? So it all ties to, you know, what he was saying. And I heard a lot of people kind of, you know, spreading the buzz about this Sentry thing. And we didn't know for sure. There was some speculation of what it could be, but we didn't know for sure. So over the weekend, it might have even been on Friday, My Time to Shine comes out and basically explains that Hyperion is going to stop an incursion with his bare hands. Okay, so this is pretty fucking crazy, and I think there's a lot to be said about this. Okay, it does obviously connect to what is going on in the Jonathan Hickman Avengers comic with Hyperion. Hyperion literally stops an incursion with his bare hands. Okay, in the comic, it's awesome. Okay, so that's kind of like number one. You know, you got a comic book reference, a comic book idea here, and that's great. Okay, I wonder too, because this did make me think: are there maybe other epic moments from the Hickman run that we're going to see depicted as well? The spine rip feels like an obvious choice. The spine rip was even in the light show that we saw in Shanghai last year. So pretty good bet that you're getting a spine rip. I didn't actually think you'd be getting this Hyperion scene because obviously we don't have Hyperion, and I just didn't think they would do this. They're doing it with Sentry, which is pretty crazy. So there's a little bit of like, okay, I wonder what other stuff they're cooking. Like, did they cherry pick all the best shit? And if they did, that's just absolutely incredible, right? It's just like absolutely incredible. Now, a couple other things that we have to do to get into more speculative territory and also, you know, frankly, a little bit more spoilery, right? One of the things I immediately thought of, one of the things that I was interested in is, well, is Sentry just doing this with 2 Earths, or is it maybe 3? Because Christian Harloff said a long time ago that he heard there would be 3 Earths colliding at the end of the movie, which I think makes sense. And it really does seem like it'll be 828, the Fantastic Four universe / Doctor Doom universe, because he's going to take over Latveria, the X-Men universe, and then Earth 616. So, you know, is Christian right? Are all 3 Earths colliding? Is Sentry perhaps holding back 3 different Earths, which would be fucking nuts, dude? Like, I don't even know how you would do that, but I guess if he's Sentry and Void combined, he could have multiple arms or even tentacles or something, right? So I guess we'll just see what that looks like. Now, I think it's also worth mentioning that before we knew what this was, the sort of verbiage and the way that people were talking about it was, this is like visually mind-blowing. So whatever this is, however they're actually going to do this, right, it is apparently going to be like something to behold, like something really fucking incredible to behold. And so I just wanted to say that too, because that was established before we even knew what the leaks were. Like, before Shine ruined it, what people were saying was that it was, like, frankly, unfucking believable, okay? So that's, like, the first one. The other thing, though, and, dude, this is just crazy here. So Cryptic posts this with Charles Xavier and Magneto. And clearly this is from X-Men 97. It's a really cool GIF. It's a really cool part of that season. And so we see Cryptic here teasing out something. He says, we need to unlock his full potential. Now, obviously, I have a whole bunch of shit to say about this. But I want to know what you think about this, chat. Like, does anybody have any thoughts about what this might mean? Any possible connections, anything like that? Because this is freaking cool. It technically lines up with an old plot leak that we heard. And I think it's really, really cool. Do you guys have any speculation, any ideas, any thoughts? Or should I just kind of get into it? Because damn, dog, like, dude, they are really cooking. Yeah, a merged Sentry is probably right. Yeah. That feels right. Yeah. Hear me out. When they re-release Avengers Endgame theaters, they will add Dr. Doom scene forging his mask. Oh, wow. That would be really cool, dude. So what he's referring to is there's like a hammer sound of the Iron Man thing at the end of Avengers Endgame. Wouldn't that be crazy? What if they did put that post-credit scene in there? That would be so cool. But yeah, that's cool. Charles Def warps him. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. So, okay. The thing that it makes me think of immediately, and this is the way that Cryptic phrases it here, is it reminds me of like Supreme Kai and Gohan unlocking his potential, right? And they break the sword and Supreme Kai is released, and then Supreme Kai teaches Gohan how to attain mystic form. Do you guys remember this? So that's like one of the first things that it makes me think of is like, oh, it'll be something like Mystic Gohan, where like his true potential is unlocked, right? Another thing it makes me think of is Charles and Magnus actually create a being known as Onslaught together. Onslaught is such an interesting character because he's kind of like the rage of Magneto and the psychic power and rage of Charles combined into like a egregore type entity, if you know what egregores are. So that is definitely something else that it made me think of because, look, I'm not saying Onslaught's in this movie. Please, for the love of God, do not jump to fucking conclusions about that. I'm not saying Onslaught's in the movie. But what I'm saying is it's interesting that Onslaught might have been a thing that these dudes encountered because Universe 1000 or 10005 or whatever, the X-Men universe that we're going to meet. Right now, the rumors suggest that basically that is an X-Men universe where X-Men 1 happened, X2 happened, X3 happened, but was retconned by Days of Future Past. So, you know, the last scene in Days of Future Past when Logan is in the school and he's like, I need a refresher on history, everything from like 1963 on. And then Chuck says, welcome back. Well, he says that because he reads his mind and he's like instantly knows like all the time traveling and shenanigans that Wolverine has been on. What that leads to, though, and this is what's kind of interesting, we don't know what the history of that universe is after that point, but we do know they somehow arrive at what is described as a utopia. We do know that there's something known as the Great Society there, some kind of Illuminati group. We do know that they've destroyed countless universes, seemingly because Beast created a bomb that allowed them to destroy other universes to protect their own from an incursion. And they've done this countless times. So, you know, who is this Charles? And what has he been through? What have they done? You know, I think that's kind of an interesting question here. I don't know that it'll directly have any ties to the movie, but if I were in the writer's room, I'd be bringing this shit up. I'd be like, dude, we could do some Onslaught shit here. Even just some hinting, even just some teasing to some Onslaught shit would be really, really cool. The other thing it makes me think of is an old leak from actually the Majestic back in the day, or maybe it was James Mack. I don't know because they're both fake. But I remember one of the early leaks that they had where they were discussing how it would be Professor Xavier and Reed Richards that would figure out Dr. Doom's secret plan. and then Professor X would have a fight with the Sentry inside his mind to stop Sentry from voiding out and like destroying everything or something like that, right? And so I don't know that leak was ever true. It could have been like a really old version of the script. It could just be like total bullshit, right? That they were making up. Maybe they heard one thing and made it up or whatever. I can't really tell. But it is interesting that there were these old rumors and these old sort of breadcrumb trails established to Sentry himself. Now, obviously, Sentry being sort of this omnipowerful light side being and also incredibly powerful dark side void being, Sentry is somehow incredibly powerful and important to Marvel overall in a way that we don't fully understand. I think the Thunderbolts movie was meant to establish this as a key factor for Doomsday. And we also have the concept art from Secret Wars, which seems to show Sentry as some kind of captive in Doom's castle, potentially a being that can hold the power of maybe God of Stories Loki or something to that effect. This is something that happened in the Jonathan Hickman run. The Beyonder's power was kept in the Molecule Man, right? So it seems like maybe Loki replaces Beyonders in a sense, and the Sentry replaces the Molecule Man. That's kind of interesting. And I think that at the end of the day, guys, look, here's what it is. It's pretty obvious that a merged Sentry, something that is using the power of the darkness and the power of the light together, is like the ultimate power. That is what is teased in Deadpool and Wolverine. When Deadpool and Wolverine take the Shredder and they form a closed loop, or basically it's a circuit. They create a closed circuit with these two diametrically opposed energies, and they create a harmony and some kind of frequency harmony with the two energies, and that power is powerful enough to stop a universe from being destroyed. The power of friendship. I mean, maybe it's the power of like diametrically opposed universal forces. So I think it's really cool, and that's probably what it is. Like, Chuck will be able to merge, psychologically speaking, through telepathy, merge Sentry and Void to create some kind of a being that is uber powerful, that is literally able to stop incursions with his bare hands. Again, what will that look like visually? I can't wait to see it. So that's some stuff there. Now, I will get a little conspiratorial with you. Okay, I'll get a little conspiratorial with you. I do wonder, what is the power cosmic in comparison to the power of the Sentry and the Void? Like, what is the difference? Because if you think about it, like, Galactus and the power cosmic almost seems as though it's a force of destruction. Like, Galactus is certainly a force of destruction. Franklin can literally bring people back to life and do all sorts of crazy shit, and yet Galactus sees him as a replacement for himself in this cosmic plan. So what is that? What is the power cosmic? How is it different than the power of the Sentry? Because I guess what I'm saying is, like, is the Sentry Franklin Richards? It's kind of what I'm saying. Like, are they the same? Are they the same character in different universes? Does every universe have a Franklin Richards? Are they perhaps named differently, but they're all basically the same thing? I don't know. That's very out there. That's really conspiratorial. I'm not saying that that's true, but it's just like a thought I had where I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. So Franklin, he seems to be embodying aspects of both sides of that coin. And Sentry seems to have that too, but Sentry's like completely fractured, right? Completely fractured. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. Here's the darkest, craziest, twisted, fucked up Doctor Doom part of it. what if this was a big part of Doom's plan, and right when Sentry reaches this god level of power and is perfectly merged and is able to hold universes apart, what if that's the exact moment that Doctor Doom's like, "Gotcha, bitch," and then takes all of his power? I don't know. Like, I almost feel like that's exactly what it is, you know? And that he needed that to have a perfect vassal for this Beyond Verse power or something like that. So I do kind of wonder, I mean, wouldn't that be crazy? Like, what if we see Sentry stop the incursions, okay? And then they all go to confront Doom, and Sentry's like just fucking big dicking it, dude. Like, he's just like so powerful, like he's like, fuck y'all, you know? And then Doom literally spine rips him. And no, he's not probably gonna spine rip him, but like, what if Doom just takes him somehow, uses him somehow? Like, this is potentially a big part of the plan. All of that is speculative. It's all speculation. But you can see why this leak is so cool. Because, like, on the one hand, it's just like, holy fucking shit, the Sentry's going to stop an incursion with his bare hands. I can't wait to see that in the theater. I don't even have a good reference for what that would look like. I don't even think AI right now could give you, like, a really good, like, you tell AI, like, to do that. I don't think they're going to give you a satisfying image. I think this could be visually unfucking believable. I mean, I'm thinking a little bit of like the Loki shit where he goes to become God of Stories. That is that's one of the best visual scenes that we've ever seen in Marvel. It's like, it evokes visually everything you need to understand about what is happening, right? And the scale and the grandness of it is really cool. So I would hope that we'll get a similar treatment with this scene. And so it's like fucking crazy that we're even going to get it at all. It definitely makes me think of all the stuff with the concept art, with the rumors of Sentry potentially being a battery of sorts and some important part of the puzzle here. The idea of antimatter, destructive force, you know, dark energy versus light side, light energy, positive creation force, and the combination of both, right? And where that meets and how that's really, really powerful, set up in Deadpool and Wolverine. So, dude, I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. Chat, what do you think? Any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns? What do you make of this? What do you make of this leak? You said Sentry may replace Molecule Man. Yeah, in a sense. And you know what's kind of interesting about that is Molecule Man gets fucked up by Sentry in Siege. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Sentry's going crazy, dude. Like, it's a problem. And they get the Molecule Man to separate Sentry atom by atom. And the Sentry literally puts himself back together and holds the Molecule Man hostage. And Sentry actually explains to Owen Reese that my power is the same as your power. I just never knew that. I just didn't understand it. And actually, Sentry's power is as powerful as Molecule Man. The difference is it's localized, meaning Sentry's molecule manipulation power exists in some kind of local field, whereas Owen has outer versal connections via like cosmic cube beyonder level power, so he doesn't have the same limits. But it was weird that Sentry was powerful enough to fucking hold the Molecule Man hostage. And he was literally like, dude, if you don't undo everything you just did, I will fucking destroy you atom by atom. And the Molecule Man was like, oh shit, and then did it. That's pretty crazy, right? So I wonder if that'll have any influence on what they're cooking here or not. But it's like one of my favorite moments in comics for sure. This would be beautiful and actually make sense. Yeah. And you know what? Shout out to Paulman too, because you know, a lot of us here really like Thunderbolts. Like, we really like that movie. We really appreciate it. But it didn't do super well. And that's kind of a shame because I thought he did really well as a performer in that. Like, it was really good. Like, he did a really good job with that character. And So it's cool to see, more of that and him to get a little bit more shine in this big movie. I wonder if it'll make people want to go back and watch Thunderbolts. That would be great too. So you can see there's some synergy here. Yeah. Doom will view Sentry as an abomination because he was made in a lab by a government and will be looking to end him and steal his power. Makes sense. Maybe. I don't know that he will view him as an abomination. By the way, the serum thing is so interesting because did the serum create the Sentry? Or was the Sentry always going to happen and the serum is just like the way reality explains it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not so sure, especially in the MCU. Like, and I hope they actually play around with this in Doomsday a little bit, especially in the MCU. I don't think it is the serum. Because remember, he says he used to have these blackouts when he was young. This is before, right? So way before he went and volunteered, he was having these void blackouts. So I don't think his power comes from the serum, actually. He's a mutant. I don't think he's a mutant either, actually. But maybe, yeah. Maybe. The serum has always amplified what is already in you. That's true. I guess, yeah, that's a good point. I don't think it's a mutant thing, though, guys. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Franklin's a mutant, and I wonder if they'll change that, because even in the comics, like, they did this really weird thing with Franklin, and they did it with Wanda, and I don't understand why they're doing this with the reality warpers, but apparently a lot of the reality warpers, like, basically can, like, turn themselves into a mutant. They give themselves the X gene with their reality warping power. And it's like, why are they doing that? Just to, like, to belong, to make it make sense? I don't really understand it, but yeah. Serum is a catalyst? Yeah, potentially, for sure. Yeah, potentially a catalyst, yeah. Where else would his powers come from? Wouldn't the serum enhance, give the Void more power? So remember that the entire universe is fake. It's like hard to... You got to remember that, like, the whole thing is fake. So there was a real universe that existed before this one, and we don't know how much has been changed and why was it changed, right? So... We don't know, you know? Do you think we would get a scene with the Void getting into Doom's mind? No, nobody gets into Doom's mind unless he wants them to be. I mean, dude, like, and by the way, Doom doesn't even need the Magneto shit. He doesn't need the helmet. Doom is so powerful just in will. He has so much willpower that they can't penetrate his mind. I remember it was one of the galas for, what are those stupid galas called with the X-Men? They started the Hellfire Gala, I think, or whatever, right? So they did one of these Hellfire galas. Emma Frost like briefly reads Dr. Doom's mind, and he, like, very politely explains to her that, like, I let you do that. Don't ever try it again. I don't want to have to fuck you up. And she feels that it's real. She's like, oh shit, you know? So yeah, Doom's that guy. I want to see Mephisto get in his head. So that's interesting. Of course. So this is the thing, right? In a sense, a telepath cannot get into Doom's mind, but he's petty enough and egotistical enough to, like, be his own worst enemy. It's almost like the person up there, Doom's ego, or in his mind, is the actual person that can get through psychically because he identifies it as self. Therefore listens a little too much to it. So yeah, it's interesting. Definitely interesting. Willpower. So he's got a Green Lantern ring. Is he going to be in Lantern Season 1? No, because Lantern Season 1 doesn't want to have fun. Lantern Season 1 wants to make you feel bad for liking colorful, poppy, bombastic comic book things. Lantern Season 1 is antithetical to live-action One Piece. And I quite enjoyed Grant Morrison in his newsletter making that point in a way that only Grant can. Beautiful. How are they going to explain Doom going from his family guy to this crazy powerful guy who's going to kill worlds? Seems like a bit of a jump to breeze over. Well, it's interesting you say that. The last thing we're going to talk about today is a leak that kind of flew under the radar, and it has to do with exactly what you're talking about. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but appreciate you, though. Thank you. Yo, haven't caught up with the leaks in a month or so. Do we essentially know what Doomsday is about now? We have a pretty good idea, but they're shooting reshoots like now, so it'll probably change. And I think there's stuff they're keeping hidden. I would go back and watch all of the videos I made on the main channel, like 4 or 5 times a piece, and you'll have a much better understanding. Jay Sylvia says, I hope Spider-Man Brand New Day has a music soundtrack featuring Green Day, Linkin Park, Foo Fighters, Snow Patrol, Mew, and Paramore. That is oddly specific. And right on. Bob's your uncle. Doom goes from Stewie Griffin to Quagmire? Exactly. Yes, you have it figured out. Yes. All right, well, that's 25 minutes on that. I can't fucking believe we did 25 minutes. Somebody stop me. Somebody stop me! Next time I'm yapping. We need like a danger zone yapping button. Like some kind of like... You have been yapping about this shit for 20 plus minutes. Chat wants you to move it the fuck along. Or something like that. That would be kind of cool, huh? Okay, let's get into some of these Spider-Man stuff. Let's get into this Spider-Man shit. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Maybe they should change the Spider-Man theme so it's a little bit more like that. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Damn, dude. Bars. Shit, I can't find this stupid thing I was looking for here. Hang on, Chet. Burn out of Spider-Man. Hell yeah. Oh, shit. All right, you poopy buttholes. Let's get into this. So, we've been talking about the Spider-Man trailer drop for about a week now. It seems to be real. Everything's real, guys. Everything's real. It's all real. And there's more to it. So I personally think Wednesday is going to be a really fun stream because I anticipate the trailer not only dropping that day, but also I think Sony is literally going to lay out somewhat of a digital Easter egg hunt and a website that functions to allow us to poke around on Wednesday as well. So we'll like watch the trailer, we'll break it down, and then we'll together go in and experience this website and check out all the stuff that they're building. But I'll explain that in just a second here. So let's first discuss like why we pretty much know it's confirmed to be Wednesday. I remember telling you guys last week, Alex Perez's source said the 18th. Okay. Well, just this morning, like literally within the last couple of hours, this guy, literally somebody in Kazakhstan. I'm not even kidding you. It's an account. It's like a Disney Star thing or whatever, a version for Sony, some kind of bullshit in Kazakhstan. Literally spoiled that the trailer will release on Wednesday at 1600 hours for them on this Wednesday. So basically, Borat confirmed that the trailer is going to drop on the 18th, which I think is pretty funny. So that's cool. Now, the other thing is when. Well, if you put in the Kazakhstan time and then you try to figure out what does that mean for like Eastern Standard Time or whatever, it translates to 7 a.m. Okay, now I don't know for sure if that's like a thing, if that's what it is, but if you look at what the account in Kazakhstan, if you look at what Borat said, that time listed in Kazakhstan would correspond to basically 7:05 a.m. on Wednesday. Pretty interesting. So maybe a real early drop on Wednesday. Kind of interested, curious about what you guys think about that. And I guess we'll see. We basically know the contents of it. It's leaked. Apparently, there's even more of it leaking out right now. If you're an eagle-eyed internet detective, you might be to go out there and watch the trailer for yourself sometime today. But the official one will drop on Wednesday. Okay. Again, it feels like it's that same one that was tested last year. I love you, New York, but you're bringing me down. Hi, I'm Peter Parker, and you know what I mean. And then problems. Professor Banner, I need your help. Punisher, what are you doing here? That's the trailer, okay? And there'll be some questions, of course, of like, hey, is Sadie going to speak? You know, what are they doing with that? Are they going to show damage control and all that sort of stuff? Big questions there. However, and I do think this is pretty interesting, guys. There is some reporting here, and I found this on The Direct, okay? Maybe this is the wrong one. Okay, this is the one that talks about the leak in Kazakhstan. Okay, well, looks like I fucked up the article. So, point is, there is. What? Wait a minute. What the fuck? Somehow the stream is still going? I literally, like, shut it off and fucking left the room and shit. What the fuck, dude? What? Okay. Like we never left, baby. Like we never fucking left. Ah! Yo, apparently, I just saw this on Twitter too. Apparently, people are real mad about this fucking Kazakhstan leak, guys. You know, fuck, man. Check this out. This is really funny, actually. They're literally hitting people. Max Blitz got it. Everybody's getting emails. If you're talking about, look, listen. I'm just gonna read this. Hello, my name is Akina, head of marketing at the PR Askar Cinema. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do a Borat. It's probably horrible. The distributor of Sony Pictures in Kazakhstan. We kindly ask you to remove the post regarding the release of the Spider-Man trailer. The information was published by mistake on our side, and we sincerely apologize for the confusion it may have caused. We would greatly appreciate your understanding and cooperation in removing the post. Well, check what I'm going to do, okay? Okay, all caps. Holy shit. They confirmed the Spider-Man trailer for Wednesday. How do you spell Wednesday? It was the Kazakhstan peeps that leaked it for sure. Maybe this will help the people in Kazakhstan not get in trouble with Sony. Maybe this will help their efforts. Okay. Oh no, I messed up the duh. That's fine. The same thing. Holy shit, they confirmed the Spider-Man trailer for Wednesday. It was the Kazakhstan peeps that leaked it for sure. You fucked up. So anyway, listen, Linda. This is what happened. The Kazakhstan account accidentally leaked that the trailer's coming out on Wednesday. Now, it definitely could be the case that Sony now will change it after they've seen this leak. But to be crystal clear, this came out before. This is probably something being planned for a long, long time. Alex Perez had the date of the 18th last week, guys, right? So he had the 18th from a very reliable source. And this morning, it comes out from this Kazakhstani account at Askar Cinema. They fucked it all up and basically confirmed that the Spider-Man brand new day trailer would be releasing this Wednesday. They even gave it time. 7 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time. So I guess we're going to see. Again, is it possible that Sony now is going to shut this down and end it? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I doubt it. It seems like a lot of work and planning went into this. So I would imagine they're still going to pull the trigger on Wednesday. As I was saying before the power went out and the stream got frozen or whatever, sorry about that. What I was saying before is that I also believe that there will be a website that goes up. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. This kind of leaked out over the weekend. It leaked that there was going to be a website. The website has a whole bunch of web pages, as you would when you're designing a website. And the websites have descriptions, clips, images, all sorts of stuff. So you know how when you go into like Empire Magazine or Entertainment Weekly or whatever, they'll do like this full spread and a lot of little goodies. It's like a fun little thing where they're going to tell you all this cool shit that's in there. Apparently Sony created something like that themselves, and that will probably release on Wednesday. So it kind of seems like, you know, on Wednesday morning, we'll probably get the trailer to come out, and then that website will launch, and we'll be able to go in there and tinker around on the website. Now, I think there's two questions that I have. We've already been over a lot of this stuff, but like it's just fun, and we're going to see it in just a few days here. So the question for me is like, how much are they still going to try to hide? Because the trailer seems to just be like, I love New York, but you're letting me down. Spider-Man, hi, I'm Peter Parker, you know, just being Peter Parker. There's some troubles. He needs the help of Bruce Banner. What are you doing here, Punisher? Like that kind of a vibe for the trailer. But we also have heard crazy things like Sadie Sink's Jean Grey, some kind of connection to the multiverse, some kind of connection to the Secret Wars movie. And there's the fact that Spider-Man Brand New Day seems to be happening at the same time as Doomsday. At least there's overlap there, which will probably explain why Hulk and Spider-Man are actually not in Doomsday, right? This is all rumored, and then things could change, of course. But my big question is, like, how much of this shit are they actually going to hide? Now, I would imagine, this is just speculation, guys, but I would imagine they're going to hide a good bit in the trailer. The trailer is probably going to be mostly what we've seen, right? But the website, that's really interesting. The website, what is the website? I think the website could hide some of those secrets. The website is where you might get some mention of damage control, maybe Tremel Tillman's character, maybe even enhanced beings and how they're viewing the changing landscape of all of that, right? So I would imagine if they do this right, we'll have this really cool experience of like, boom, here's the trailer. Holy shit, oh, that's so cool. But that's really like more for the normies. And then we get this website where we are going to like dig in there really, really deeply and try to figure all that stuff out. So it really does look like it's going to be happening on Wednesday. I'll try to get up early, but also like I'm damn sure not going to get up at 7 a.m. and wait for this trailer. Like that is not going to happen. I will, whenever I get up, which maybe I'll already be up at 7, maybe I won't. It's kind of unpredictable. If it drops, I'll probably stream early. So you might want to think about like on Wednesday, you know, Josh might go a little early and we'd be breaking it down live, and then we'd be looking at the website and all that sort of stuff, right? So that's basically where we're at. A lot of questions. I think right now, this movie definitely needs a very strong trailer. I think it would really help out if it was really cool and a lot of people were talking about it. And potentially this whole thing they're going to do with the website and all the deeper connections is a really interesting way to also create some buzz and excitement for the film. Because, again, it seems like Dune 3's trailer is also going to release this year. And the whole Dune Marvel conversation, I think, is going to pick up more as we get closer towards Doomsday. This almost seems like round one. Round one. Dune and the Mystical Twink versus the Mystical Twink Spider-Man. You know what I mean? How did this happen? Anyway, the point is, I'm hoping that Spider-Man makes an incredibly strong showing, and I think it will, and get people really, really excited, and we'll have a ton of fun nerding out about it as well. Chat, what do you think? New Maul trailer? Is it good though? I mean, should we watch the Maul trailer, guys? Should we even watch it? Let's chill a little bit and talk about Spider-Man before we go into the Maul trailer, okay? It kind of bangs. Okay, cool. We'll watch it after we talk a little bit more Spider-Man's here. If in that Onslaught one-shot run, Franklin Richards creates a pocket dimension, could that be adapted as a replacement for the life raft leading into Secret Wars? Something like that could be going on. I would like that a lot. Franklin Richards is such an interesting character because, like, in the original version of Heroes Reborn, when like Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld actually leave Image and go back to Marvel, controversy. A part of that whole thing was they killed off some of their heroes. I think at the time Jim Starlin had a lot of ideas of like, let's do permanent death in comics, and then everybody was like, no, that fucking sucks. Don't do that. And the way they got around the permanent death thing was with Franklin. Basically, they explained that like, oh, you thought Tony Stark was dead. No, Franklin Richards scooped him up out of this reality and put him in a different reality right at the time of death. Franklin is also an explanation for why these heroes never age and why we seem to be stuck in some kind of like weird thing where, you know, they should be getting older, but they're not. It's almost like the Simpsons effect, right? And that's explained via Franklin as well. So yeah, there's plenty of things they could be doing with that. It's kind of a cool idea. Do you think end credit for Spider-Man will similar vibe to Ant-Man and the Wasp? Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I actually like that. I think that would be really good. Yeah, something like that could be. I like where your head's at with that. DiCaprio in talks for Norman Osborn. Interesting. What do you guys think of that? We can add that to this segment here because, you know, I did see that Shine was, you know, yapping about DiCaprio last night and everything. And, you know, obviously Leo's a really good actor. I mean, what do you guys think? I think he's a horrible pick for Norman, frankly. But, yeah. Which upcoming season or show are you most excited about? Invincible, X-Men 97, Daredevil, Lanterns, The Boys, Spider, Noir. That's a great question. You know what I think we should do? And we kind of already been doing this, but maybe we should do a tier list. A tier list for my anticipation. But the thing is, I already watched some One Piece. It's fucking incredible. I bet Invincible is going to be incredible, and that comes out in like the next couple of days. So maybe we'll wait and do that over there. I would say this. I would say that Spider Noir is very high. The Boys is pretty high. Invincible is incredibly high. I'm so excited for this season of Invincible. The Marvel shows are pretty low. I mean, Daredevil, nothing, it's not doing it for me. I don't know why, it's just not doing it for me. And then X-Men 97 Season 2, hell yeah, but like, is that really going to happen this year? Is that going to come out? That'll be really cool, actually. Vision Quest, zero interest in. So I'd probably have to say Spider Noir and Invincible, probably like top of the list. Yeah, I'd probably have to say that. Leo is 6'1". Interesting. Really? No way. He's 6'1"? I always thought of Leo as kind of short. I don't know why. If you like more mature anime, watch JJK. That's better than Demon Slayer. Okay, right on, bud. Josh, can you watch the Maul trailer? Yeah, we'll watch it in a little bit here. I just wanted to yap a little bit more about Spider-Man. What do you guys think of Leo as Norman Osborn? I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, dude. Like, I don't think we need Leo. I don't think Leo needs this. I'm actually not that interested in Leo in the MCU in general. Like, am I crazy? Like, look, and it's not just the Hollywood thing, you know. Obviously, I have my issues with Hollywood and, like, you know. But, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis, he's obviously an incredible, famous actor. He's you know, I guess Hollywood-ish. I would not feel the same trepidation of Daniel Day-Lewis coming into the MCU as I do with Leo. Like, it's nothing personal. It's just like, you're Leo, dude. Like, I don't want you in Marvel at all, actually. I guess Leo could maybe do the Redford thing, where he's like a significant side character for a short time and puts in a good performance. But, nah, man, I'm not feeling that shit. Leo, get the fuck out of here. It would be cool to take Norman if Leo brought the Wolf of Wall Street crazy businessman vibe. I'm having a lot of trouble seeing it. Yeah, Bryan Cranston, hell yeah. Sean Penn, yes. Tina says hi. Who the fuck is Tina? You know? Cocaine Osborne. I mean, that's a fine combo. I don't know. Does it have to be Leo? Don't need big names in Marvel. Totally. He'd nail the role. Depends on what kind of Osborn they want from him, though. Yeah? Fair? I just want Christoph Waltz as somebody. Now, that is something I could deal with. Christoph Waltz, I could deal with, dude. Who would Christoph Waltz be good as? Now that's kind of interesting. Let me think about this. Christoph Waltz. Oh man, he's like enigmatic, mysterious, commands a scene. Red Skull. Pff, that's a wild Red Skull, dude. That's a wild Red Skull. Take care, Nate. Old Doc Ock. Yeah. Green Goblin. Christoph Waltz. He's a tricky one, dude. I gotta tell you, you know who I think Christoph Waltz would be incredible as? Mephisto. And I know, Sasha's great. I like Sasha as well. But can you imagine Christoph Waltz as Mephisto? That shit feels right. That could be really interesting. You don't think so? See, I think, but I guess it just kind of, because Mephisto is sometimes played as like the devil, right? But there's like something about Waltz's performance and the way he does that's like very disarming. And there's something weird about that feels nefarious. He's so charming that you could see him with the silver tongue. It's actually not dirt, it's paint. But yeah, it's green and brown paint. I did there's some on my hands too. Because like to test the brush, to test the paint on this, you got to test your stroke. See how much paint's on the brush, you know what I mean? So I just, this is probably just, I fucked it up, but yeah. Waltz's Nightmare. Ooh, brother, that could be it. Wow, that's it. I think that could be it. Dude, Christoph Waltz as Nightmare. Yo, that's kind of exciting. You got to test your stroke game. You always got to test it out, You don't want to hurt anybody. Ooh, Zemo. Yeah, true. I mean, we've got a great Zemo, though, but yeah. Yeah. All right, cool stuff. Well, dude, I mean, I'm excited for the Spider-Man trailer. Spider-Man it's so interesting to me because I can't get a good sense of how the hype is for Spider-Man. Probably because we have no marketing, right? It's like all leaks. It's literally all leaks at this point. And I guess what I can say is, like, I've noticed the views from my videos that cover the leaks about Spider-Man don't seem to do as well. Like, some of them do. There was some excitement initially about, like, the Punisher Hulk stuff, and then the Jean stuff. The Jean stuff was interesting. We got some views out of that for sure. But, like, it's not like Doomsday. Do you know what I mean? Where, like, Doomsday seems so multifaceted and layered that there's just, like, this blanket interest that just covers the whole thing. I can talk about almost anything with Doomsday and get some views. And I'm not seeing that with Spider-Man. I'm a little worried. I don't know what that means. Like, what the fuck? I hope Spider-Man pops off real good. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. Yeah, 4 months ago and zero marketing is pretty wild. You're not wrong. All right, let's watch this Maul trailer. Apparently there's a new Maul trailer. You guys are all excited about it, okay? Maul. I remember Star Wars. I do remember Star Wars. Okay, we're going to pull this up. It's only about a minute long here. From what I can see here, it actually looks pretty fucking sick. So let me get the audio going. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out. Oh, shit. Nice. Whoa. Okay. All right. Shaking it around. Should I make it so you guys can see it better? Oh, shit, my man. Oh! Turn back in. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. You kind of fucked that up. Try it again here. Oh, adios, chopper. And there goes the chopper right there. Damn. I can see why you guys like this. It is pretty good. Yeah, nice, dude. Hell yeah, Darth Maul. Looking good. All right, the trailer's almost over. We got like 30 more seconds here. Unbelievable. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Okay, fuck that one up. Okay, yeah, not bad, guys. I don't really have too much to say about it. I'm sure the show will be good. Maybe it won't be. Star Wars is dead. Let's move on. Let's talk about this Doctor Doom leak, man. I gotta tell you, this one is pretty crazy. I have to bring it up again because it got shut down here. So let me find this again. You know what? Totally random, guys. You know what song is stuck in my head? Totally random. Mary Jane by Rick James. Oh my God. Y'all ever watch that song? Or y'all ever watch that song? Y'all ever listen to that song? She makes me feel alright now. She makes my heart sing. God damn. Had some soul. Rick James, man. Okay, I guess we'll watch the actual trailer. You fucking Star Wars fans, just give up. It's over, dude. Fucking A. All right, new Maul trailer, the new hit show coming to Disney Plus. New trailer.
Our target is a syndicate leader. He is associated with several criminal organizations. And proficient with a laser sword.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn, that was cool.
The Empire tried to kill me. Their betrayal demands consequence. And that consequence requires a weapon. Together, we can destroy the Empire.
He wants to fight as allies.
The Empire may be our common enemy, but Maul will never be our ally.
We need to find him, whatever it takes.
Oh, that's cool.
Out of our hands. The Empire will want answers.
The Empire will lock this planet down.
Jedi, where is Maul? I'm right here.
Oh, damn.
Let us have our revenge.
We're not gonna take out the whole Empire.
Our target is
It's pretty good. Like I told you guys, holy shit, Maul is fucking good. I can't fucking believe it. Star Wars is back. Maybe. Let's not get crazy. Look, in all seriousness, this fucking goes hard. You know what I think when I watch this? Do you know what I think when I watch this trailer? I think, why isn't Star Wars just this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why isn't Star Wars just this energy, this story, this vibe, this shit? What the fuck are we doing with Mando and Grogu, dude? Like, what are we doing? I don't know. I mean, I think it's obviously hard for me to embrace any new piece of Star Wars content because there is so much baggage and there's so much pain there, and a lot of frustration, right? This seems really cool, but it also seems like what Star Wars is maybe once every couple of years, something that we wish was consistently being put out emerges and is satisfying. And I can't really speak for all the Star Wars fans because I think there's, it's a big eclectic group. There's a lot of newer people with different sensibilities and all that. But I can just speak honestly for myself. It's like this seems cool. And I bet I would sit down and watch this and have a good time. But here's the difference. And I think this is where the sort of cows come home. Okay? You talk about Spider-Noir. You talk about Invincible. You talk about The Boys. Even Daredevil, One Piece. All of these incredible shows. Obviously, Lantern is not one of them. Lantern's is Goobly Glob. But this year is stacked with great shows and great, exciting pieces of content, right? Do I really see myself getting more excited for this show than a lot of those other shows I just mentioned? And the answer is no. And you might want to know why, right? Like, why? Well, what's the difference? Well, I think it's multifaceted, but I think it kind of just comes down to when I watch Invincible, I have the feeling of being a part of a big party. And the Invincible fans are loving the show. They're loving the direction of the brand. They feel like sharing, and it's just like a big club of people that are excited, bringing fun stuff up. The vibe is strong. It feels great. The Boys has a little bit of that friction because, of course, they went political and there's people that are really bothered by that. So there's, some backlash to that. But by and large, I feel like you get a lot of the same energy from The Boys. The Boys is about to finish its main story. There's, there'll probably be more spinoffs or whatever, but they're going to finish their main story. And frankly, guys, I'm invested in that story. And even though there's a few blemishes, I felt like last season was a little bit weaker. And, even season 2 and 3 are a little bit weaker. But it's like, they're bringing it home, and it feels like a satisfying, fun party. Spider-Noir feels like something incredibly fresh, something that could actually breathe new life into the entire genre. It's got the two guys that made this Project Hail Mary and the Across the Spider-Verse, Lord and Miller, heavily involved. Nick Cage. It just feels like fresh and new and exciting and fun. Maul does not feel like that at all. And what do I get out of Maul as a fan? A reminder that there was once a lot of Star Wars stuff that I really enjoyed. A reminder that somehow, some way they can still put some good content out there. I mean, it's not a party. Like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like a party. I don't love Star Wars the way that I used to. You guys fucked it all up. You fucked it all up. And even this serving here, which is arguably good, it's arguably exactly what Star Wars should be, it's maybe even catered exactly for my tastes, I cannot get that excited about it. I literally can't, guys. I don't think I'm doing watch parties for this. I'm not going to make content about this show. What this show is one Sunday afternoon, probably months after release, I give it a chance and am pleasantly surprised. That's what the show is. That's what Star Wars is. And I'm not going to act like it's any different. So it's like, hey, good trailer. Good trailer. More of this would probably be a net positive for Star Wars overall. But I can't. I'm not. You literally just served up one of the coolest fucking Maul trailers possible. And I'm still like, So, any other thoughts, questions, comments? What do y'all think about that, man? Because that's just the honest to God truth. That's just how I feel in my heart. Yeah. Star Wars franchise needs to end on a good note rather than ruining the legacy. Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah. So in other words, Star Wars excitement will not return in Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, I don't think so, bud. I don't think so. Yeah. Sometimes a good show can just be a good show. Call me crazy. Yeah, it is a good show, but like, don't act like seriously, that's so fucking disrespectful to just be like, oh yeah, but what if it's like just a good show and it's not that deep? Okay, well then you misunderstand what Star Wars was. That's fine. Maybe you never appreciated it like that. But for me, it's like, Star Wars is not supposed to just be good shows. No. And frankly, it hasn't even been that. Okay? Yeah, no, man. Sorry, no. No. I think it looks cool, but I hope it's good story-wise. Yeah. I mean, what does this... Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to get too overly toxic about it. I can just explain my take. I can just explain how I feel, why I'm not that pumped, why it looks incredible and yet does not a lot for me. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Josh, they got rid of Kathy as first step. What else does the franchise have to prove to you that there's a sliver of hope? Oh, brother, I don't even need a sliver of hope. I don't even want a sliver of hope. Like, to be honest with you, like, that's... Why do I need Star Wars to be what it once was? I don't. I literally don't. If it happens to be great again and awesome and incredible, I will appreciate that. But I don't need Star Wars, dude. Like, that's just like a weird way to look at it. You know what I mean? Like, what would Star Wars need to do? I have no fucking idea, and I'm not even thinking about it. That's the answer. Rossi says, haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. I don't even want none of the above. All right, buddy. All right. Yeah. We got anime. We don't need Star Wars. I mean, there's so much good entertainment. I mean, seriously, think about what we just said, guys. Invincible. Fucking Daredevil Born Again. The Boys. Spider Noir. One Piece out right now. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about? We're talking about Maul? We're talking about a Maul show. Yeah, I don't know about that shit. I'm not really feeling it. I'm gonna end this segment here. We're gonna talk about this Dr. Doom leak. Is there anything else y'all want to say about the Maul? I mean, the combat looks cool. You know what I mean? Like, it looks cool. This trailer's incredible. You know, you got the pikes. You got you got a lot going on here, man. You know, the Age of Maul and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I just don't care. I just don't fucking care. Mando season 1 was a party. It certainly was. It did feel like a party. Yes. DD is dead. You mean Daredevil? The show is too late. Yeah. Star Wars had their legacy and ruined it. We'll see what Starfighter does. Yeah, we'll see what Starfighter does. I don't know. I'm not that excited for it, but we'll see. Qui-Gon Ghost interact with Maul. Man, that sounds like some shit I would definitely think about if I cared about Star Wars. Brother, I don't fucking care. Qui-Gon Ghost talking to Maul? Who gives a shit? Like, I'm sorry. What? What? You think Qui-Gon will talk to Maul? Like, that's, like, no! Holy shit. Okay, that's enough on that segment. My God. I hope it goes well for you, Star Wars. I hope that, I hope a bunch of people watch that show. Okay, anyways, let's talk about this. One more thing we got to talk about, and then we're getting on out of here, okay? One more thing we got to talk about. So I saw this leak, guys, and I wanted to get into it. I don't know how real this is, but I remember seeing it, and I was like, yo, that's kind of like pretty interesting. I wonder if that'll end up being true, and it did do... it made some waves in this Leaks and Reddit Discord here. So check this out here. We'll just read it, and then we'll speculate a little bit about it. We'll talk a little bit about it. Hi, I just wanted to share something I heard from a friend who's been working on set. According to them, Dr. Doom is going to have a sort of duality that's very similar to Tobe Obito in Naruto. Now, first of all, I don't know Naruto like that, chat. So can somebody TLDR Naruto for us? I would assume, based on what he says next, is like there's a guy with dual personalities. Is that kind of what we're hearing? Obito is so tough. Okay, yeah, somebody TLDR, and I'll continue to read on in here. At first, Dr. Doom appears wearing a green suit with a mask and hood, pretty much like RDJ wore at Comic-Con. In this phase, he's calm, friendly, and helpful. He explains incursions to the Avengers and even travels with them for a part of their journey. But later on, once his true nature is revealed, things change. That's when he starts wearing his iconic Doom armor, and his voice and overall demeanor shift into a much more villainous tone. From what my friend said, he's only seen wearing the full iconic costume in scenes that take place on a castle set. Okay, pretty weird here. Pretty weird shit, okay? It does technically tie into some other things that we've heard, right? So we heard a little bit about how the final battle will take place in Doom's castle in Latveria, seemingly on 838, or 828, rather. What do you guys make of this? Like, what do you guys make of this? Before I go into my speculative stuff, what do you guys think of this? Yeah. Oh, did anybody explain the Obuto guy? He's a disguise, but he's evil. Interesting. Okay, I guess I'll have to. Doom is pretending to be Tony. Is Obuto pretending to be Toby? Okay. Toby played an idiot until his final plan was enacted. Okay, so can I ask you guys a question? Is he a little bit like Master Pycelle? And what I mean is, like, did you guys ever see the deleted scene with Tywin Lannister and Master Pycelle? It's not two different Doomsthrag, no. Pycelle in Game of Thrones. Do you remember this scene? It's really cool. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Leaked scene, or rather deleted scene, probably on one of the DVDs or some shit, with Master Pycelle and Tywin Lannister. So if you didn't know, Pycelle is that bumbling idiot of a maester that you see basically throughout the whole series. It's on the council. There's a scene with Tywin where Tywin says something to the effect of, "Am I the only one that sees through this charade? Could it really be true that so many are so stupid to not see through the lie?" And then Pycelle actually speaks in his real voice. And he's like, I sometimes have trouble believing it myself. And they have this like really interesting conversation about stealth and deception and what does Pycelle want and all of these things, right? Yeah, the idiot jester who's revealed to be a mastermind. Yeah. Wow, so interesting. So this could explain a couple of different things. I'm just going to kind of yap. I don't know for sure, guys, but I'm just going to kind of yap, okay? So we know more or less that the mask and hood that we see Doom in the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four is not the same outfit that he has been seen in a lot of the leaked and marketing stuff. Okay? So we've always wondered what that was about. I thought maybe this meant this was Doom before the accident, and Doom had a different costume. He didn't need to have the mask on constantly because his face wasn't scarred, his body wasn't being held together, but he's still Dr. Doom, basically wearing the green, has the mask, and, is in the suit of armor or whatever, right? And I was like, okay, well, then maybe after the accident, he changes his suit, and he changes it to look like more like what we've seen in the marketing with like the runes and the 10 rings and all this kind of stuff all over it, right? I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But this leak here, which again, let's just be clear, we don't know if this is true. This is unverified. We're just speculating. We're having fun. But Doom, at first, in a green suit with a mask and hood. Pretty much like what RDJ wore at Comic-Con. And in this phase, he's calm, friendly, and helpful. He explains the incursions to the Avengers and even travels with them for a part of their journey. But later on, once his true nature is revealed, things change. That's when he starts wearing his iconic Doom armor, and his voice and overall demeanor shift into much more villainous tone. So hold on, wait a minute. His voice changes? His voice changes? So think about this from Downey's perspective as a performer, right? And we're like, okay, so Tony, or RDJ, you're going to be Victor Von Doom in this movie, but for most of the movie, you're pretending to be Victor Von Doom, the Girl Scout cookie salesman. You know, and your voice, your tonality, your nonverbal communications, all of it has to feel calm, friendly, and helpful. That's literally what happens with Obito. Really interesting. So, my name of Doom is true. Oh my God. My name is Doom. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably not that. But I mean, just think about this. Think about this. Doesn't this make some of the other leaks make a little bit more sense? And remember, we keep hearing about how it's gonna flip. Doom's lying to everybody. He's manipulating everybody. And I've went through all this stuff to try to explain, like, you know, if you look at the definition of manipulation, it cannot be the case that this is cooperation. That's not what manipulation is. Manipulation and cooperation are different. So there's some truth that is hidden, therefore manipulation. So basically everything that is going on in the movie as it is presented as this guy, my name is Doom, you know, is a lie. Is a lie. And then for him to actually start wearing his iconic Doom armor, and his voice and his overall demeanor shifts into something much more villainous in tone, well, doesn't that kind of connect to the Sue Storm leak that we were talking about? Do you remember? We talked about the Sue Storm leak, and it was said that Sue is going to be concerned that all the Golden Mask people are manipulating Doom. Well, why does she think that? Because Doom is Obito. Doom is just some nice guy that's a genius that lost his family and he figured out how to bring them all back. But if that's what's going on, and Sue thinks he's being manipulated, and then there's a point in the movie where he completely fucking changes. Doesn't it stand to reason then that this whole idea that the witches were manipulating Doom is a part of the lie? I don't know. That part is definitely speculative for sure. I could see scenarios in which the heel turn that Doom does is viewed by Sue as him falling for the tricks of the masked people. But I don't think so, because I think at that point it's like everybody's going to realize how bad this is. Yeah. A little Walter White energy, yeah. But, man, this is all so fascinating. And I have not heard anyone speak about this leak specifically. And within all of the other things that we're talking about and within what we've seen, this tends to make a lot of sense. And I wonder how Marvel will handle this in the marketing. Because it almost feels like in order for this surprise to actually be kept secret, they would have to market the movie showing Doom as a good guy. But that's weird because Feige has literally already talked about on stage at a Comic-Con how the movie's basically the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and the Avengers fighting against Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom is so obviously a villain. So what's the deal? Are they gonna market the secret, the flip, and then present the movie as though that was fake? And then it's... Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you see what I'm saying here? Obito was never good while playing the Fool, though. He was still a part of the Itasuke. Oh, okay. But Darboyd says he was good in the beginning. Yeah. Really? So this is interesting. Honeycomb says Doom versus Rogers kind of being like Obito versus Kakashi is actually pretty dope. They fight in a void in that anime as well. Really? Obito turned evil due to a misunderstanding involving his friends. Wow. Okay. So, wow, this is kind of interesting. Maybe he finds something out that makes him turn evil, like how Tony lost his shit when he found out about the Winter Soldier. Yeah, and that could be that Steve's incursion killed his family or was responsible for the incursion that killed his family or whatever, right? So that could be what that is. But I don't know. So I think the manipulation implies foreknowledge. The way Alex spoke about why Peggy decides to follow Doom implied that she feels as though her and Steve are responsible for it. But maybe that's just them understanding that making that choice had consequences. Maybe it's not them actually understanding that they killed Victor's family. Those don't have to be the same thing, right? So there's definitely a lot of interesting ways that it could all happen. But here's the other thing, too, is like, if the audience, because remember Charles Murphy said that we will see Doom's face, but the heroes will not, right? Now, right now, John Campea is saying you don't see Doom's face in the movie. I don't think John's right. I think Charles is right. I think you'll see his face. We will see his face. And then nobody else will see his face. At least maybe not until later on. So, but Charles said they're playing with a tension where we know Doom looks like that, and that's going to cause interesting tension. But the other characters won't, right? So it's like, I almost feel like they can't convince us he's heroic. I almost feel like the smarter move for the movie is to make it a tragic thing, like, you know, in the horror movies when they run into the woods, and we're all sitting there, we're like, don't run into the woods. I feel like the Doomsday movie is going to be like, don't trust Doom. And everybody will. And we're going to kind of know, no, don't trust him. No, don't trust him. And then that'll come to a head, but it's darker than we even imagined. That's kind of tonally what I think it is. It's like, don't go into the woods. Oh my God, don't go into the woods. I know there's something about that Doom. I know there's something about that Doom. And then boom, oh my fucking God. Even I could not have predicted how dark this guy is. Holy shit, everybody's screwed. Something like that. So that, yeah, that's kind of, like, I hope you can see how this one I thought was so interesting. It kind of flew under the radar, but I was like, dude, no, there's something here. There's something here. So anyway, open it up to questions, comments, and all that. What do you guys think? The real question is, will we get a Richards on some classic Doom gravitas dialogue? I think so. Yeah, I think so. I would imagine so. Josh, just tell everyone John Krasinski's Reed Richards is the maker who will torture Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, turning him into Dr. Doom. No. Doom is kind of like Voldemort in a sense, with sleep agents waiting to strike, kind of like Snape. Yeah, I can see some similarities there. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I guess we'll see. We'll see how they cook it all up together. There's still a lot of mystery. I'm, of course, intrigued. You know, it's funny. Like, some people, I get some comments, and I understand it. I understand why some people get frustrated, or even people are like haters of me or whatever. I understand it, but you know, there's people that are like, another Doomsday leak, and it's like, yeah, like, because I'm genuinely into it. I'm genuinely interested, and they're cooking up stuff that's like this huge tapestry of movies and shows and shit that's all coming together. It's awesome. You know, it is. It's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, this is what I've done for years. It's what I like to do. If I didn't like doing it, I probably wouldn't keep doing it, you know? So I am having fun. I do think this is cool. And I bet too, another thing to add to this is, I bet even more of this will come to light now. Now that we've talked about it, put it out there a little bit, I would imagine that sort of greases some wheels. I bet some more shit comes out. I bet we'll get even more of an understanding of it very soon. RDJ should say, my name is Doom, to Channing Tatum last night. 100%, dude. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That Obito comparison blew my mind. Yeah. I'm glad, buddy. I'm glad. Yeah, it's cool. Everyone here hates you, or is it just me? Oh, everyone hates me here, Josh. Oh, wait, what's that? What? Hey, just relax. Just go into your brain, take the dial that says insanity, and just dial it back just a little bit, just a couple notches, you know? Yeah. Am I going to have to watch Naruto? You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to text my buddy who's a huge weeb about this character. I'm going to be like, dude, you need to explain this to me, and what do I need to watch? What do I need to watch? The dial is broken? Aw, man. Well, that's okay. We'll love you best we can. You're welcome here. How do they actually end up stopping Doom in the comics? I haven't read it. So they don't stop Doom until we get into Battleworld, and Doom is basically God, and he's, you know, he won. And what happens is some of the heroes from the old universe pop up. Okay, and two main things happen. Doom begins to lose his cool because it's Reed, and he's like, he just starts to lose his cool, right? And then basically what happens is they're fighting. Reed and Doom are fighting in front of Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, and they're arguing. And basically, Reed gets Doom to admit that Reed would have done a better job at saving everything. Doom deserves credit. He saved the multiverse, but he also did it in a very Victor way. Okay. And Reed gets him to like basically admit that. And then what happens is Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, is like, oh, okay, cool. So then let's just give all the power to Reed. And then boom, all the God power goes into Reed. And then Reed sets things right using Franklin, using Owen Reese, all that. Yeah. They give Doom a big hug to defeat him. No, they don't actually. But it's just it's similar, I guess, to that. It's a very clever ending. It's actually an incredible ending. Don't forget the hamburger. The hamburger's, I mean, it's fine. The hamburger's fine. I don't think it's as important as some of you guys think. Any theory about how Doomsday will end? Will everyone die? Yeah, I think everyone will die and then be resurrected on Battleworld. That's what I think. Who knows for sure, though? All right, let's end that segment here on this Doomsday League, man. I'm glad you guys liked that one. You know, I know we talk about a lot of things that are similar here. This one was different, and I was like, we got to talk about this shit. So I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked that shit. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, look, I got to get out of here soon. Okay, I got to get out of here. I'm working on videos. I got a lot going on. Trying to put some good content out there. So, yeah. And then, look, we're not going to stream tomorrow, but Wednesday should be a really big, really fun stream. We'll go live right after the Spider-Man trailer comes out, and we'll react to the trailer. We'll break it down, and hopefully the rumors of that website are correct, and we can get in there and look at the website, too. I would love to go on a little Easter egg hunt, try to find what's in there, all that sort of stuff. Invincible's coming out. I was working on an Invincible recap video, and I realized I fucked up and started way too late. I would not be able to get that video done in time for the new season. So instead, we'll make some videos covering Invincible a little bit. But we're cooking a lot of cool shit. I have some cool ideas, cool things on the way. So that is what the rest of the week looks like. How far are you into season 2 of One Piece? 3 episodes, unfortunately. What if it doesn't come out tomorrow? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. W stream, be cool. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Much love. Any other last minute thoughts, comments, questions, concerns before we get on out of here, chat? Anything else you want to get into here? Sounds like slacking off a bit? Oh, not at all, brother. Not at all. Not at all. Everybody's so mad that I shared the Kazakhstan shit. Am I going to watch Daredevil season 2? Yeah, I'll probably watch it. Although I got to be honest with you, and I didn't want to say this now. I think a lot of people will get mad at me, like my own community will get mad at me. I don't think I'm doing watch parties for that show, man. I know I said I would. I see that going a very bad way, and I just don't want to. I want to protect my personal energy. Like, I don't want to go watch something that I think I'm going to, like, get upset by and then in front of everybody. I know it's fun content and all that. It's just not what I want to do, you know? Jack Black for Frankie or Bust. Nerd Vengeance for life. I don't know what that means. Oh, you said stream of it. Well, that was Wednesday, you know, so it's not tomorrow. It's Wednesday. And if the stream or if the trailer doesn't come out by like noon, I'll probably just go live. You've said 1,000 times you're done with watch parties. They should expect it by now. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I did say that Daredevil would be the one because I had such a big crash out on season 1 where I was like, I'll try to give it another chance or whatever. But look, part of this is like I've been writing scripts and really working more on the main channel videos. And that just takes more time. And it's like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to go do this watch party thing? Or do I want to like spend some dedicated time to like make content I'm actually proud of that could, you know, do well for the channel? So yeah, that's what I got to do. The X-Men 2 stream was cool on Saturday. Had to watch the full thing later. That was a great stream, and I'm having a blast with those streams. So if you're a member, I highly recommend it. If you're looking at like one of these days where maybe there's not a stream and you're just looking for something to be entertained by, throw on one of those streams if you're a member. We did Iron Man 1, we did the first X-Men movie, and then we just did X2. And it's kind of like an EFAP. It's like a deep dive where I go through the whole movie, not necessarily frame by frame, but we go through every part of the film. We bring up all sorts of fun Easter eggs. We talk about what it might mean for Doomsday and stuff like that. So those streams have been great, and I highly recommend those. Eventually, that's going to be a nice watch list thing that people can go through. So, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like you're not going to crash out about it the next day on stream. True, but hopefully I can at least keep it a little more fun and entertaining. You know, I tend to believe that even when I crash out, like as long as I can keep it fun, like and keep the energy good, like it's all good. The watch party thing is challenging because, and this is why I don't like watching a lot of other people's videos and stuff. I can't really mask how I feel. And my raw reaction tends to be a little harsher than maybe is necessary. Like sometimes I'll have like a really harsh initial reaction to something. Then I kind of like think about it, I sort of process it, and then the following day I'm able to joke about it a little bit better. So yeah, that's like important for me. Do you know what I mean? Like just for me and my spirit, it's like, no, I want to keep the right tone. I want to be intentional with the content and the platform. So watching you mentally freak out and try not to say what you really feel on a mid show does sound fun though. Yeah. And I understand why you guys like it. Like I get it, you know? Yeah. Do you do a full script or an outline? I've been doing full scripts lately. I've been doing full scripts. The video released yesterday, full script. It is a phenomenal video. The flow, once you get into it, the flow of that video is like superb. That's what I want all my content to be. On the main channel, there's different kinds of content, but like on the main channel, I want them to be scripted, long, valuable videos. I want it to be a vibe. I want to take you on a trip. It's almost like you know what really, really good content is like? It's almost like hypnosis. Really, really good content almost like sucks you in, pause, in a way, and then like time goes away. I think that's actually I'm trying to hypnotize you guys. I need more time to properly cast my spells, to properly hypnotize you. And I haven't been doing that. I've been a bad wizard. So I'll be better. But that takes time. So we're going to work on that. We're going to work. What about my needs, Josh? That is not my responsibility, brother. It is not my responsibility. So, all right, everybody, much love. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being there. Much love. I hope you had fun. Sorry about the weird delay. And then the power was fucking killed and all that. That shit sucked. Other than that, it's been cool. It's been real. Appreciate y'all. Black Clover live action would be fire. Hell yeah, it would. Hell yeah. All right, everybody. Much love. Appreciate you guys. And as I always say, I hope you, that's right, you, are having an awesome end day, nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, what a lovely Monday. What a great way to start the week. I love having cool shit to talk about. And we're gonna have a lot more cool shit to talk about this week. Good Lord. Good Lord. Can't wait for Wednesday, baby. Woo! Come on, Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man. And I guess the Dune 3 trailer will be cool too. All right. Hell yeah. Appreciate you. Get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do me a favor. Actually, make it 2. Open up your third eye and wash out your stinky, stinky butt. See ya.